and have the conversation that Rumble heard. So, welcome back in. We'll just switch it around so y'all can see the world, the whole world too. You dig? The whole world look like your big ass head. That. Anyways, but yeah, Universe 6 will be like a movie series. But like I said, the big homie dropped late yesterday, so I was happy about that. I was getting my notes together. I was like, well, if he don't drop today, hell, he'll probably drop on Saturday, which is Super Saturday anyways. I feel him for dropping on Saturdays. That's why I drop on Saturdays. You want to hear Dragon Ball content on Saturdays, because hell, that's when your Saturday morning cartoons used to come on. Y'all know this is Popcorn's analytics. Because people tell me I look like popcorn all the damn time. Like, uh, you look like popcorn? Yeah, I heard about that guy. He's a nice dude. That's why he's on my channel in the channels I might know section. Because it is my channel. I mean, I love how people don't appreciate that part of the game. Oh, you can actually uh, 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 have more than one YouTube channel? Of course. Of course. Why is YouTube not even on my home screen? That's crazy. Yeah, Google, no. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Just go to the bottom. Is the app not on here? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I literally got to download YouTube. They got YouTube Music, but they don't have actual YouTube app because your boy had to get a new phone yesterday. But while we just sitting here, we'll go ahead and get the videos rolling because I believe I did that part. I believe I did do that part, and I'll just figure out my secondary and third phones later. Play all, man, play all. Let's go ahead and hear it. Like to hear it? Here it goes.
Great. A dramatic entrance. Wow, Piccolo's power has gone way up. All right, out of my way. That's funny. You haven't changed at all. What were you doing in there? Taking a nap?
That's funny because when Vegeta comes back out, his power barely changed itself. Oh, that's why that one was funny. And for the people who didn't know, who we got in the house today? How you doing? Thanks for coming by and saying hi. Appreciate that thumbs up.
A new trailer for Dragon Ball Super Beerus, the upcoming 6-episode enhanced remake of the Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods arc, kicking off the Dragon Ball Super remake era or Super Kai era, was premiered at the recent Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour event. And besides just exciting new announcements like new DLC for Sparking Zero and Xenoverse 3 being made official, probably the most talked about thing about the weekend was that there was actual confirmation that the Resurrection F Enhanced Do-Over is coming after Dragon Ball Super Beerus airs its 6 episodes, which is going to be late 2026. I did cover the entire event live, and if you haven't checked out the stream, it was an episode of the Super Magic Show live. Make sure you check it out so you can get my full reaction with extra tidbits about what they're going to do. But on this video today, I want to take that Beerus trailer and do a breakdown, but not just a shot-by-shot breakdown. I want to give you something a little extra. I want to show you what it used to look like in the old version of Dragon Ball Super and how it's being enhanced for the new Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake. So we're going to look at several frames here that are going to illustrate some of the changes they're making to that original anime from 2015. Akio himself discussed that there were numerous technological advances in production of media that weren't around 10 years ago, so those techniques will be used to make Dragon Ball Super Beerus a more enhanced experience for Dragon Ball fans. But before I get into the frames, I want to first tell you about my new Patreon. With the upcoming Dragon Ball Renaissance with Beerus, Resurrection F, the rest of the Super Arcs, and eventually the premiere of the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Moro arc in anime form, I have moved memberships over to the Patreon. There you can have access to extra bonus content on top of what I'm dropping here on the channel, as well as exclusive streams featuring the entirety of the Dragon Ball anime start to finish, and bonus audio hotlines at the top two tiers for news before it gets published here on the channel. Check out patreon.com/geekdom101 for all of this and more. I look forward to seeing you over there. The deepest part of the geek army and a great community. I welcome you there. Okay, so let's.
Now, see, the people that don't like Danny, because, there's plenty of people that hate Danny. I mean, I treat information however I get it. You see what I'm saying? The person that usually gives it to me, I don't care how I feel about the person, it's the information. You see what I'm saying? So if the person himself ain't saying, or the person might not be somebody you like, but it's your job to know if the information is what you like. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I mean, personally, I don't care about who or how he is or what he does because he's a YouTuber who does have some insightful information about something I like to hear about. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, since he's on the subject of things I like to discuss, that's why I listen to him. So, shouts out to Geekdom because, like I said, you're going to have haters. Beast Mode God, my guy. What is up, my bud? Good to see you. How you doing? But anyways, like I was saying about Geekdom, just because you might not like him as a person, because some of these people try to personally attack people, which hey, I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like somebody, let them know, because at least you are standing on your business. You know what I mean? If you ain't standing on business, I don't want to hear you complaining about nothing. Hey, you can complain about having to stand on business. That you can always do. But you can't complain about not doing shit. And that's 100% facts. I mean, the guy puts in work, therefore he should be paid for it. And the people that don't like that he's doing better than them, well, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? You're making a video using his video and blah, 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 just like other people steal other people's content anyways. Hell, Dragon Ball was stolen in the first place. Okay, shouts out to Black Myth Wukong, not the game, the actual Black Myth that was Wukong. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get back to the video because, like I said, my guy Denny's cool. You know what I mean? He might not be cool, but him making videos about something I am interested in is cool. Hey, Beast Mode, I'm gonna need you to go over to the Buy Me a Coffee link and go pick up that freebie on my extra section so I can get your email so I can give you a free membership because I've been meaning to do that, but I need you to slide by the Buy Me a Coffee link and pick up a freebie. Just picked up the freebie because then I can send you the free membership. It should ask you for your email address. That way I can get it without you putting it in the chat type shit. Because you might want to be private. Everybody ain't got a public Gmail or 50 Gmails like I do. So if you want to spam one, I'm not looking at it anyways. Nah. I'm actually trying to get that info.
Get started on this shop to shop breakdown and comparison. On the left is going to be the Dragon Ball Super 2015 Battle of Gods arc, and on the right is going to be the new Dragon Ball Super Beerus enhanced version of the same scene. We start off here with Goku and Beerus' first meeting on Kaio's planet. This is meant to be a little bit more stylized than originally, conceived. This is where Goku will test himself against Beerus.
Now, see, I like what you said about the Moro arc as far as the animation, but hell, you know how I am. I keep up with the manga, so as long as I got fan made or official mangas coming out, hell, I'm happy with that. They can keep the anime off to the side all they damn want. I'm still keeping up with the story, because as they say, if the story's continuing and going on, I'm all about it. Hey, if the damn company decides that they don't want to release product and fans want to release product, I'm all about fan made products also because that's gonna be our next side quest, because you know if the company that you like ain't making your product, now you got to start making your product, right? Right.
And gets smashed. He's going to go through all the Super Saiyan forms before Beerus just embarrasses him as a Super Saiyan 3. This is the infamous episode 5, and as we reported here a few months ago, that's going to get a huge overhaul, set to be a significant improvement from episode 5. It's not going to look like that in the slightest. The second clip here, interestingly enough, again, a bit more stylized stuff. Beerus is going to look way more menacing as the dangerous god of destruction, but also the skies behind them, it almost is implied that they're going to be moving the fight a bit higher up in the skies, where a lot of the fight won't be so close to the ground, or at least close to, you know, that cruise liner that Bulma has in the Battle of God Super version. Super Saiyan Goku going after Beerus. I know a lot of folks were hoping that they would not have Goku absorbing God into his Super Saiyan form. You have to understand, and we talked about this a lot, that was in Toriyama's script for Battle of Gods he wrote with Yusuke Watanabe when he came in and modified it. That's something Toriyama specifically wrote in. And understand, it's not that Goku took all of Super Saiyan God inside of his body, but he took properties of it, and he definitely was here an enhanced Super Saiyan before, of course, discovering Super Saiyan Blue in the next story after Battle of Gods. Goku's going to look a lot more on model here
Fire in
than
the
he
hole,
did
right?
for the TV version. Another example here, they're going to be using some pretty cool effects to give Super Saiyan God that godly mystical aura. More so how they did in the movie, except for the fact that the computer technology used here is significantly better and more advanced than what they had back in 2012 and 2013 when they were making the original Battle of Gods film. This, of course, once again, the background looks like they're higher up, like their battle will be higher up into the skies, but the glowingness of Super Saiyan God to me is the big standout of this frame. Very next frame here.
Now, see what, like I was saying, I mean, I appreciate Denny for spending his time doing this because he could just watch the content and not say nothing to nobody, but then he's going to try to share some information with people. And like I said, the haters are mad because he's actively active, and that's why haters always are going to hate. You're doing something and they're not. Now you done made him do something, which is hate on you. Yeah, shouts out to that. Cause like I said, Cat Williams said it back in the day. If you ain't got enough haters, you better go find you some more. Cause I'm gonna keep my haters working 24/7. Yeah, hell, am I scared to put something out? Nah, I'm glad that people are gonna hate on it. Cause guess what? You hate on me means I did something. Cause you wouldn't hate on me for being you. Cause I don't hate on you for being you. Shout out to the haters and trolls because hey,
We
we
see
keep
another
working.
glowing Super Saiyan God. This to me, although it may resemble maybe the smoother Shintani look, it's also more detailed, as you can see there on the
Too
right.
much drip.
They
What's
really
poppin'? Good to
spent
see
some
you. How you
time
doing?
cleaning up that
Sorry I
frame.
missed your
The
comment
next one
at
here
first, but I
is
saw it
Super
now, right?
Saiyan Goku versus Beerus. I believe this is actually in not the battle on Kai's planet. This is the one they're having, you know, at the end of the arc, the main event battle. And this has obviously been fixed up. The lines are no longer super thick, and they've added some aura to it. Goku just looks so much better. The shading is better. So at least we can be guaranteed better visuals. Here we have a shot of Vegeta where it feels like when in this version of Goku versus Beerus, there will be a lot of energy, God Ki Hakai energy, just sort of oozing off of these characters as they go at it here. Just totally different color palettes for this whole sequence. Here we have Goku and Beerus fighting in space. This is a very infamous scene in both the movie and in the manga arc. And I really love how the frame on the right there looks so much more like the movie, so much higher quality. I think the impact of the battle is going to be enhanced, and it'll make up for a lot of the problems in the original. Here we have another shot where Beerus's face is actually totally changed. And the reason as to why we know for sure that this is the same frame is because of where it stands in the battle between Goku and Beerus. So I like what they did with Beerus's face here, as his eyes really tell the story. This is more of these awesome lighting effects that you see them do. To be honest, this might be one of the ones where I prefer the previous frame because I love the way the Earth looks there. I just think it looks awesome. And there we have Beerus with his incredible power far away. Once again, the lighting is the key. This next shot here, I gotta be honest, I do think the Earth looks better in the previous one. However, Goku and Beerus themselves, I think in the enhanced version on the right, are easier to see. It's cleaner, it's brighter, but I do like the way they drew the Earth in the left frame. Here we have basically Mr. Satan, Piccolo, and Bulma watching Goku and Beerus do battle. Much more lighting effects. Everything's going to be much more brighter, more colorful. That's why I saw the Shintani comparisons. Make no mistake, this is still Tadayoshi Yamamuro working on these models, so they're still using his Dragon Ball Super models, but the colors and the detail is going to be better. Here we have Super Saiyan Goku. This is, of course, on the right meant to match up with Beerus's sort of purple aura mixed in with the gold, so it's a bit more, I guess you can say, stylistic and wobbly. More of like a windy kind of effect, if that makes sense. This next frame right here, I think the real difference is that Beerus just is standing there and looks a bit more terrifying. They have taken, for sure, steps to make Beerus look more fearsome, and you can see his face a lot clearer. He's got the whole I'm not impressed look, and yeah, there you have it. I mean, I prefer the new one here as well. Close-up of Goku's eyes, the shading is much better than in the original version, although to be honest, I didn't hate the original one either. I think that looks fine. Vegeta, slightly better shading there. As you can see the shadow effect behind Vegeta. It just looks more clean and more like a real shadow would look based on where the light sources are coming from in the battle. Next shot right here. This one I kind of like the original more, but I want to see how it plays out in motion in Dragon Ball Super Beerus. Then we can really see what the idea is. I really don't have a problem with Beerus making the face he makes in the original. In the new one, he has his eyes closed, but I think in motion is when we'll really see what this looks like and what they're trying to do. Goku's Kamehameha, to be honest, this doesn't look all that different, but it looks like they're making the aura around Goku wider and further away from his body. Both of these are fine in my opinion. I don't think that either one is necessarily bad, but it's just an example of some of the things they're doing, some of the touch-ups that might not seem like a big deal, but will be visually different when the final presentation is out. This next shot here is the Beerus clones surrounding Goku. We saw in the first trailer there was a lot of those little orbs that he made. They added more of them in this version to make it just a more of a threat, more of a more over the top, dangerous, tough situation for Goku to get out of. And honestly, who's to say that if they didn't have more time to work on Dragon Ball Super, that they wouldn't have, continued and actually done it like this. But Dragon Ball Super was a rush job. This next one, I love Goku's Kamehameha. I like the way that they're sort of handling the effect. Way brighter, way more impactful on the right, but the left is not that bad. I would not say this is one of the main frames that needed work, in my opinion, although some may disagree. Goku does look a bit more aggressive on the right as well. And then here we have a bit of a change. Again, this is similar to the image earlier where Beerus's mouth is closed instead of open. I'm guessing to sort of illustrate that he's less impressed than we thought. And then this frame right here is enhanced, and it just looks like Goku's moving at a much faster speed. I think the speed frames for these episodes and this battle between Goku and Beerus are going to look way more impressive now than they did in the TV version. Although, to be honest with you, and I've said this before, I think I'm still going to stick with the movie version. Anytime I want to watch this story, I'm probably going to stick with the original Battle of Gods 2013 movie because I think that one tells the story the best. But hey, I'm open-minded. Let's see what they cook. Maybe it will be better. I don't know, man. The movie's the most simplistic and best way to, I think, take this content. Second to last one here, The color of Beerus's energy blasts have been changed from yellow to more of a purple to match up with his aura. And last but not least, the awakening and the reconstruction of Frieza inside of the healing tank. You know, I did a whole video a while ago about why the healing tank put Frieza back in his first form. When Trunks had sliced them into pieces, he was in his Mecha Frieza form. The reason why he's been rebuilt in his first form is because the only data the Frieza army had on Frieza and his body was his first form with the armor. Because if you remember, when they fought him in Dragon Ball Z, nobody had seen Frieza's forms. So this is the only one they had data on. The Resurrection F Super arc is the one that needs the most work. So we'll see. I'm sure later this year we're going to get more information and a bigger teaser about that. So that is my shot-for-shot breakdown of trailer 2 of Dragon Ball Super Beerus. The next big...
Now, see, with him talking about Frieza, that just made me think about something. So you know how it goes. If you want to watch the original videos, go to the original video creators channel, because you came here to hear what the hell I had to say. Shout out to hearing what I gotta say, because you know I'm gonna talk my shit. Wake up, King. We talking shit today. You see what I'm saying? I gotta be on screen smoking anyway, so that way y'all remember the face later on. You gotta be like, why am I on this guy's buying me a coffee and I don't even remember what his face looks like? Because I came in the middle of his live versus the beginning. Because you know, at the beginning of every video, I'm on camera because the way I have my checking and saving set up, I gotta deposit my face to start my video, right? Yeah, we start off on camera and then we switch to not on camera. But like I was saying, that just made me think of the healing tanks. So when y'all want to be like, well, why was Vegeta tail never regrown? Because technically, when the first thing he did when he left is he went and hit a healing pod. And like they said, the healing pods can be tailored to, you know, do a lot, because they're able to do a lot with Frieza himself with his genetics when he did need healing. You see what I'm saying? They were able to put the man back together from pieces into an actual body. And then, like it said, it was programmed to the body that they had on file for him, which was his first form, because that's how he ran around. They took a picture of him, click. So when the healing thing's trying to restructure him and rebuild him, it builds him back up to that picture. So with the Saiyans, whenever they come in and need healing, it should be able to regrow their tail through the healing pod type shit. But they didn't, which is why, because, you know, Master Troll was lazy at the time and said, well, these guys have tails, but I don't like drawing them. Nick, you ain't even drawing them anyways, okay? You ain't even drawing them anyways. So to put them on a piece of paper, that'd be like the last thing you do. Okay, how is this tail position? Boo, 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 boo. It's a 5-minute deal. You're not the one animating this shit every week anyways. You just give them the guidelines at some point, and you're telling me you're too busy to do that. So when they want to design, you have to sit down and draw, which is what you do. But at the same point in time, since you're old and lazy and want to quit working, your ass don't want to do this shit no more. You ain't drawing Kid Goku with a tail for 20 years, kicked you in the ass. Kicked him in the ass. So when it came to Vegeta, he's like, damn, this dude got a tail. I got to draw tails all over again. Fuck, I got rid of Goku's tail a long time ago, just so I could draw normal people. He don't even like drawing normal people, probably, but that's how that be sometimes. But like I'm saying, so he probably, Frieza is who I'm talking about now. He probably had an order with the army. If the Saiyans come in and they ain't got a fucking tail, do not regenerate their tails, because that gives them that what? Uzaru access and that 10 times multiplier. So I would do a video about it, but you know, I just did a video about it in a video on another video before I do my another video type shit, right? Yeah, I'm gonna talk my shit today because I'm thinking that's what if I was writing stories, that's how I would have played it off. Frieza had an order saying, "Do not heal their fucking tails if they come in without one." Because although I could use them to be stronger, they're naturally getting stronger anyways, which is already a problem. Hell, he probably was mad that Vegeta even needed to be healed because he knew he was going to get stronger. Damn it, you just took somebody that was right at where most of my good fighters are and put him beyond that shit. God damn it, Bobby. Y'all just trying to give me problems. It's hard out here for an emperor of the universe type shit.
should be coming at some point in the summertime. Make sure you have all notifications enabled. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/geekdom101. Give it a trial. Let's see if you like it. In addition to that, leave a comment with your thoughts on this entire trailer breakdown and what you want to see. If you're not caught up on news yet, check out the videos on your screen right now. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Please, let me go!
I don't believe it. His power is even greater than I imagined.
Did I do that?
That's right. So are you finally beginning to understand?
Kaioken.
And that how it be with Goku before this starts. Before this starts, I said, God damn it, Bobby, I said pause. Anyways, because you know your boy Goku be acting like he forget that, oh, I am only in my base. But then that's why a lot of people say that the Super Saiyan transformations are relied upon too much, because you know base Saiyans they was some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, let's go away from the legendary Super Saiyans, because these ain't supposed to be a Super Saiyan bargain sale. Hell, every 5 minutes you get a new color. God damn it, Bobby. But that's another problem. He be forgetting, oh, I am stronger than this. I could have used Kaioken the whole damn time. But, you know, he's so used to having to go to the extreme levels, he forgets a times two Kaioken will make him stronger than the people he's currently having problems with. You know what I mean? The grunts, especially the grunts. Like, I ain't got to go Super Saiyan to beat this guy. I could just use a 2 times multiplier versus a 50. Yeah, who needs the 50 times multiplier for this guy? I could just double my current, 8,000 to 16, and, I'm close to Vegeta.
So, you find yourself on the Unrelent Gaming channel. How fortunate for you. I, Lord Frieza, will spare your life as long as you subscribe and turn on notifications.
Now, for the people
Also,
who hadn't
thank you
seen
to
this
become a
already,
member of
because
Unrelent
y'all wasn't,
Gaming's Patreon
on
for
time with
tons
your
of
own
exclusive
notifications,
content,
don't be
early
mad at me
access
for
media,
spoiling it for
and
you,
much
because,
more.
you had
Good now,
12
or
hours to
else.
watch it before I went live. Yeah, it was on about 4 in the afternoon yesterday, my time. So whatever time that was for you. Uh, God damn it, you're spoiling the episode. I was gonna watch this over there, then wait till Saturday to watch it with you.
Now, although my decision to do what it is that I am about to do will undoubtedly warrant for a lot of questions to be asked about why I will do what I'm about to do, it is time that Goku finally comes to learn about the truth behind where it is that we come from and why we are the way that we are, which is courtesy of where it is that I am about to bring Goku in just a matter of a few moments.
As our story now continues, following the initial training session involving both Whis and Angel Goku prior to Goku having to undergo stage 3 of his omniversal training, which it was only moments prior with Goku being shown getting into fighting position just before having to
Hey, took many trips to the liquor store on a Friday, made you miss the video, man.
I'm curious to know before we resume here,
Hey,
are
there
these
you go
now
watching with
seriously
me.
believe that
You go
the
catch this
Gokus
work.
are in following through with their
that you have already seen from my angelic abilities so far, then where exactly is it that you would rank me when compared to you in comparison to the top 5 strongest, who are also compared next to your level of power as well? And with all due respect to you and everything that it was that you have done to go and help me get to as far as I currently am, Whis Goku continues, try not to go and keep anything from me that you wouldn't already.
Now, see, me being an attentive video editor, why is these still in my playlist? I edited this yesterday. Yes, I did edit this yesterday. Weird truth about being a shit. See, there's a lot of videos down here. I knew that Geekdom video was a rerun, but I left that one in there because I gotta have something to talk about, right? In last week's video, you couldn't hear it over here, so I mean, a couple people was gonna complain about it, but you know how I am. Anyways, let's put this down at the bottom of the list. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not gonna let me do it that way while I'm doing it this way. Okay, so I had the same problem the other day. 99 problems. 99 problems. Well, let me grab one, and then once it moves, because it's not wanting to move where it's from. But anyways, hold on. We'll go to this video, because this is the video we're supposed to be watching. No. Here's the new one, because y'all already did 30 minutes of me talking. So we'll actually, yeah, that's the good thing, because this is why we do them live. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I get to make sure y'all get to see the correct video, because that's not the correct video. That's last week's video, which was silent. Sorry, watch it on Rumble. That's why I posted the link on my community tab. Yeah, straight to the Rumble video, right? Then you can hear what happened last week. Yeah. Anyway, this is this week's new episode. Sorry, excuse me. I'm only human. It's not AI. This is not AI, people. Shit happens. Then for anybody that doesn't like AI, I mean, I'm not opposed to using AI, but I was talking shit about AI, but it's not like I'm afraid to use the technology. But for the people that don't like AI, it's because you got to actually be out here putting in work and be that person these days. If you was already him, you ain't got nothing wrong with AI, because every time I see AI doing something, I'm like, this was like standard equipment for me. This is my mind state. I worked like how AI worked, I guess. Oh, you want to do such and such? Well, I can do that for you. Yeah, well, once I hear you say what you want me to do, I can actually just start beginning to do the work, because that's what I'll do. I'll do the work. You want me to show up at 7 o'clock and do whatever for 8 hours? Yeah, I can do that. It's like AI. Yeah, work, nigga.
Consequences behind Lord Omnis's actions to serve as an eerie reminder on why he is to be feared, but judging by the way this is looking, I am hoping that our allies are able to hurry so that they could all make it out of there before it's too late for them.
As our story now continues somewhere back within the Omniverse, within the timeline called B353, with the events being shown accurately unfolding as it was during the conclusion of the Future Trunks story, only with an unknown portal being shown having to now open up above Zeno, was when Goku went on to then quickly realize the gravity of the situation by responding, "Oh, this doesn't look good, and before anything happens here, we've got to go and grab the others and quickly go and make our escape via Trunks' time machine before we end up as collateral damage. Oh wait, Future Trunks went on to then quickly interrupt. Are the rest of you sensing what I'm sensing at the moment? Look, up there, Trunks says. In the sky above the Omni King, something's... it's making its way through from the other side, but what exactly is it? To which, lo and behold, from that moment on, as both Omnis and his Dementors were then showing having to make their way through, was when Omnis went on to then address the situation down below by then responding, but of course this would be the place on where I would find you, lowering yourself and lending a helping hand to those who are not only less fortunate than you in deserving a chance to live to begin with, but to also witness you descend from the throne above to assist these peons makes me utter...
Oh, but beast mode. I already started one of the projects I had told you I was working on, so that's why I'm making sure you hit the bottom of your coffee so I can get up with you over there, because members already have access to the pilot data book, so you know what I mean. And first one's up, you know what I mean. That's just a digital copy, but you get to start inferring with me on that on the backside on the bottom of your coffee. But yeah, like I said, just hit it up, hit me.
Really sick to my stomach
Next
to
to hit a nigga in the head with
That
this
is
one.
why I am here, Omnis says. For no longer will I stand to go and watch as you continue to make a mockery throughout the fabric of the Omniverse when you were never truly fit to rule over such kingdoms, whereas I, on the other hand, am. And although you may not be aware as to who I am or why I am here, Omnis continues, understand that this planet, along with everyone and everything within this shattered timeline and reality, will soon be wiped away, just as it was with many of the worlds that have fallen before this one, as there will be nothing that any of you will be able to go and achieve and having to do that will go and change the outcome of what is about to happen here, Omnis says. But first, before I am to go and take any sort of action against you disgusting creatures below, let us begin by going and doing away with that ridiculous Kaioshin by eliminating him first, before I am to go and eradicate the rest of you, just as I originally had intended, Omnis says. Which seconds later, within that very moment now, as Omnis was then shown having to completely Hakai and erase Astro Zamasu from the essence of the timeline itself, was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, I can't believe what I'm seeing, and look, in the skies above us, he's singling Zamasu's essence out, and it looks like he's erasing him completely without going and compromising the entire timeline, but what is he? He's different than that other Omni King that we see, but why? As Omnis then went on to quickly address everyone below by having to then respond, and now with that disgraceful excuse for a Kaioshin in training out of my way, look at this pathetic gathering with Zeno standing above and at the center of it all, Omnis says, with the rest of you worthless peons clustered below like frightened prey. All of you, Zeno and the collective filth beneath him, look so small from where I stand, but that is how it's always been, and that is how it shall always remain, Omnis continues. And while I speak to every single one of you down below as the collective vermin that you are and have always been, my mission continues to remain consistent, because once my work here alongside you begins, Omnis adds, I am going to enjoy slaughtering each and every single one of you, along with everything it is that you hold near and dear to your hearts, as you should go and cherish these final moments while you still can.
Hey, Lord Honest is talking cash shit. Hey man, he would make your boy Clay Davis be like, hold on, wait a minute. Shit. That's that
Because you will
bullshit.
never go and live to see another day beyond this one once the harvest is set to begin. But there's just no way, Goku then went on to suddenly respond. But why does this Zeni look so much different than the one that we brought here to go and help us? With Kawasu then being shown having to quickly chime in. Well, that's because that isn't Lord Zeno, or at least not that I can tell. But this does appear to be something far more terrifying and far more powerful than the present Lord Zeno, which looms directly above us. But it was only just as quickly as Omnis was then shown having to enter into this timeline was when Omnis ordered for both of the Dementors to be shown going after Goku and Vegeta, as Omnis went on to then quickly respond. But with my hatred for these pathetic excuses for these so-called gods and how I intend on punishing them aside, there is nothing more that disgusts me than by witnessing mortals such as these acquire access and assistance to deities such as those Kais. Now now slaughter the two mortals below. To which seconds later, that was exactly what both Dementors ended up doing, because with the Dementors being shown and having to attack both Goku and Vegeta was when the Supreme Kai went on to then quickly add, oh no, Goku and Vegeta are nearly completely out of power, and with those creatures showing signs of exceeding even Lord Beerus' power, then without some kind of a fusion method or a plan of escape, then they'll surely go and be destroyed, with Omnis quickly then having to be shown chiming in. And while I intend on going and keeping you here with me for the time being, Omni Jester, I now have something very special that I intend on unleashing upon those two remaining Kaioshin below. Goodness, he's attacking us, the Supreme Kai went on to quickly ask. But why would Lord Zeno go and willingly order for an attack on us like this for? Just what in the world is going on here, Kawasu? Why is that Omni King suddenly now going after us for? We're all on the same side here, aren't we? With Trunks responding, oh listen, we cannot go and allow for those creatures to go and follow us back into the past like this, especially now with both Father and Goku under attack by those two, because with Zamasu now finally destroyed, we've got to go and act now before this goes from bad to so much worse if this continues. But then, it was only just upon with Omnishown having to now summon forward a dark god of destruction and having to go pursue the Kaioshin down below is when Omnis went on to then point down by responding, now from the gates of the dark dimension, I call upon you to go and bring me the souls of those traitorous Kaioshin below, King Megalodor, and destroy anyone who opposes my will for their destruction by any means necessary. But Trunks, on the other hand, was...
Hold on. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying when people write they shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this ain't no AI story, motherfucker. This guy writes these stories, then he puts them on there for you. You know what I mean? Shout out to the original creator of the content, because the content is good. You know what I mean? This nigga done summon a whole god of destruction to come eat a supreme kai. Well, kill a supreme kai. I don't know if he gonna eat him, but he gonna come kill a supreme kai for him. He said, you know what? Y'all niggas is weak. Matter of fact, let me show y'all what power look like where I'm from. Because, Omnis is over here standing on business. The business is being stood upon, okay? It's being stood upon.
Not chancing this, because with Trunks being shown having to grab onto Shin, Gawasu, and Mai and having to attempt to flee was when Trunks went on to then quickly shout, we've got no other choice than to go and hurry and do what we must to survive, and so just hang on to me and don't let go, because if we don't go and find a way to escape back into the past right this moment, then we're goners. With Gawasu responding, oh, well, we will need to go and hurry so that I may go and inform Universe 10's Destroyer about the situation that has unfolded here as well, and so don't let go of me, Shin. An unknown god of destruction, Elder Gawasu, that was a destroyer that Omnis just called forth and put out from that portal behind him, but how? For I had never seen nor have I ever sensed a destroyer like the one that was just shown and having to suddenly emerge, and so, but how could there be another god of destruction for that evil Omni King to summon here against us that isn't a god that we can go and accurately identify? With Trunks responding, well, never mind the how or the why for now, because we need to go and hurry back into the past so we can go and tell Lord Beerus and Whis about the situation and requesting for their aid and backup against these monsters. Otherwise, but then, it was suddenly within this very moment now from out of nowhere as Trunks was trying to make his escape, as Megalodor was shown and having to appear by impaling Trunks from the front and having to be shown driving his arm right through his body, was when Megalodor went on to address Trunks by then responding, and just where exactly do you think you're running off to, mortal? Because escaping our wrath was never truly in your favor to begin with, and so try not to drown down there before I get to you, while I go and handle what is needed of me here in the meantime, Saiyan. And since this now here leaves the two of you alone here alongside with me, with nobody here to watch over you, wretched Kaioshin, let us leave the best for last, because while you may not know anything about who I am or where it is that I happen to come from, I, on the other hand, know everything there is to know about the two of you, and so I will now go ahead and begin by starting with you, since I never really liked your governing destroyer Ramouche here to begin with, Kaioshin. And so now perish beneath the waves of your own despair, Megalodor continues upon now being shown completely Hakai and Gawasu, along with your governing destroyer from whom you are connected to from across these converging timelines you've created, never to go and return return, so as long as we stand across to oppose and destroy you. And as for you, cowardly Kaio slave Megalodor then went on to get behind Shin by continuing, let this moment be a lasting memory that will echo throughout the darkness of the Omniverse for all life forms, including your connecting god of destruction, Beerus, to always go and remember. And so I just want for you to know that you never truly stood a chance, and you never will, Megalodor continues. And just like it was shown with your body being torn apart by the hands of a far stronger and far...
I mean, this alternate god of destruction, because we're gonna give y'all a close up for your drip cam. You know what I mean? Shout out to Megalodor. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, look at him. If I had another hand, I would be screenshotting this on my other phone, but I'm giving y'all the opportunity right now because I will be doing that upon my replay of the video. Because shout out to me. You dig? Shouts out to me. Yeah, I'm just saying, the dude look tough. I mean, he be designing the hell out of his characters.
A more ruthless force than what you are already used to, Megalodor.
But hold on, look, he just.
Completely ripping Shin apart.
That's what I was just finna say. He just ripped Shin the fuck apart. Beast mode. Beast mode. I'm sorry for pausing. Beast mode. You see this shit?
Very soon, your connecting destroyer Beerus also come to suffer the same fate as you just did, for here lies the difference between my prowess and yours. And with the Kai's now finally destroyed, Megalodor adds, this now just leaves you and I all by ourselves, mortal. And since it's been a while since I've had a tasty mortal meal to feast upon, what do you say?
Shin just got ripped apart though. Shin, get up!
Since I'm not
here
to waste my master's time, Megalodor adds, this will go on to do for now as you never stood a chance if you thought that you could ever go and escape me, Saiyan. And now to ensure that you are to suffer a fate worse than death, Megalodor adds upon a sinking Trunks being shown looking back up, for we are the gatekeepers behind what is determined to exist and what is to be determined to be destroyed, mortal. And so in the name of our venerable leader and ruler of all kingdoms, Lord Omnis, may your soul be devoured by the echoes of your unimaginable failure, Megalodor says. Which it was only seconds after, with the giant explosion being shown having to emanate from the waters below, as Mai was shown in having to oversee this, was when Megalodor went on to then continue. Yes, and with the 3 out of the 4 of you down and gone from out of our line of sight and ridding you from this world forever, there is only but one that now remains, as I promised to go and take my time when eating you alive, just like I did with the boy. Which it was only within this very moment now, when then having to go back to Goku and seeing as to how he was having difficulty in fighting off the dark-hooded Dementor, was when Goku went on to then quickly respond, but how are these guys this fast to where not even Super Saiyan Blue is able to go and do much of anything to stand up against these things? With the Dementor then having to quickly respond, we have waged war against countless variations of you and your ally Vegeta throughout our time when having to go and purge the omniverse of you and your kind son Goku. And since we've been involved in direct combat against you many times over throughout our mission in having to realize Lord Omnis's vision into having it become a living reality, Goku, no matter how many times we are going called into action by Lord Omnis to go and fight against you, we will continue to go and stop at nothing in order to ensure that Lord Omnis's desires are carried out without any setbacks, even if that means that we will need to go and slaughter you all throughout every corner of every known pocket of space within the very Omniverse itself in order for Lord Omnis's dream to grow into becoming an absolute reality, the Black Hooded Dementor continues. Because if this is the case, then we will go and gladly carry this out as many times as we will need to go and do so if it's what drives your race further and further into permanent extinction. Oh, damn it all, Vegeta says upon having to now be shown fighting off the Red Hooded Dementor, for not even Kakarot seems to be able to go and hold these monsters back even while using Super Saiyan Blue, and so we will need to go and think of something else and fast, because we aren't going to last much longer if this keeps going. As the Red Hooded Dementor went on to then headbutt Vegeta by responding, there will be no escaping Lord Omnis's punishment up against us, because just like those who have fallen before you, the 2 of you will also go on to meet the same fate as they once did, which you cannot ever go and hope to try to prevent, no matter how that you go and try, Vegeta. Bro, these bastards are far stronger for either one of us to go and handle all on our own, and so we'll have no other choice here but to go and fuse Kakarot, because if we don't go and hurry and join bodies now via that dancing fusion methods that you know of, then we won't. Foolish, saying the red-hooded Dementor suddenly then went on to then burst through the wall by being shown and having to attack Vegeta before Vegeta was able to reach Goku, as the red-hooded Dementor went on to then continue going and merging together and allowing for the
Special Ed, what up?
join
Good to
bodies
see you. How you
against
doing?
us. Still won't go and
Thanks
be
for
enough
coming
of
by
a
saying
in
hi.
your favor and having you go and try to stop us from completing our mission. The Dementor continues, as you will be slaughtered alongside your mortal allies until there is nothing that remains within Lord Omnis's wake, once we are to go and rid this timeline along with all of you within it. Which it was only within this very moment now, when them having to go back to Omnis and Zeno, with Omnis being shown and having to now address Zeno directly, was when Omnis then went on to quickly respond, "You wretched little sniveling excuse for a so-called
I got you added over here, bro. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you.
become before having to go and reach my final conclusion on what it was that I needed to go and do in order to reverse the damage that was already caused by you, as I want to go and watch you suffer for eternity just for existing." Omnis went on to then continue, "For I hate you with a hatred that burns hotter than the destruction of a trillion universes, for your ignorance is a plague that has infected every corner of creation, and your arrogance, your arrogance," Omnis continues, "your arrogance was but the blade that had slit the throat of the natural order that you had went and put into place to begin with, and you never even realized it because you were never truly ever that smart enough to actually peel back the veil of your own creation to see the arrogance."
So I like what he did here because I'm breaking down how he wrote his story currently in my mind. So this is basically, what if an evil Zeno had a fucking third eye? I mean, it's a what if scenario right there. Boom. And that's how you write a lot of Dragon Ball. You throw in what ifs and fan service, because those two things will continuously be productive videos and content, right?
Behind why these life forms ought to be eradicated, which is why, although while remaining the same, at the same time, we are not. Omnis continues, as the only true title that my former glory holds, that in which you represent, is but a facade. Omnis adds, "The King of Delusion is what your true title represents, whereas I sit
DJ
at the
Toya
very
Renee,
top of
good
the
to see you.
highest
How you
throne
doing?
in
Thanks for coming
history
by and
as the
saying
one
hi.
true God above them all," Omnis says, "for I am both your unfortunate beginning and your inevitable end." With the future Omni King then having to respond, "But why is it then that you look just like me, but don't feel as though you are
You
me
know
at the
me, I'm
same
up doing
time,
my
and why your soul
THIN
feels
to the
dark and
G.
heavy," Zeno adds, "and I don't appear to be able to
Super
sense any
Saturdays is what we
signs of
look
life that dwells
forward to.
within your
Y'all know to
very
go
spirit, and so who
check out our favorite DJ when she does her playlist and her THIN to the G on Fridays and Saturday nights. You know what I mean? That's why you know it's Super Saturday. DJ Tiny gonna be in there slapping some beats right before you go to sleep. Then you wake right back up and come kick it with your boy. Then after you done watching my videos and run playlists all day and realize you need to do something else, you go kick it with DJ Tiny on Saturday night again. You know what I mean? That's why she hit you with that Southern two piece. You dig?
exactly are you, and what is your true purpose now that you are here, evil me? With Omnis responding, "Silence your whimpering and listen closely, then, you
Hey, you
worthless
know I
Omni
talk that shit
jester,
better
for
than
I
most
am the
people. That's why
result
I
of
talk
your
shit.
one true awakening, and the living
If you want to
embodiment
hear
of order
some
achieved
high
only
level
through
shit
the
talking, that's why you fuck with
known as
popcorn.
Emperor
Hell,
God King
he was made to go
Omnis,
with the
and my
show.
purpose is but a very simple one, and that is to go and ensure that you are completely destroyed throughout the annals of all points within history until I am the only one that remains. And do you want to know as to why, Zeno Omnis questions? Well, that answer is also quite very simple for you to go and understand as well, because it was due to your lack of true leadership that had allowed for every single sacred law that you had ever decreed to rot, crumble, and be trampled upon by the very subjects and vermin that you were supposed to go and command. And if you still choose to not go and want to believe my words to you, then I welcome for you to go and take a good hard look at the trail of your unimaginable failures, Jester. Think about it. Mortals casually ripping and traveling through space and time as if your temporal laws were simply meaningless suggestions as they disregarded the natural order, with Kaioshin such as the one whom I've just destroyed attempting to go and play the role of God by using and abusing the sacred time ring.
See, did you just hear what this dude said? He said, nah, 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 nah. I'm on business, Zeno. You got mortals and gods running around acting like your rules was just suggestions and not rules, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, he said, nah, 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 nah. We didn't sit up and write a whole rule book and give these people room to move within the rules for them to just break the rules and then act like they ain't break the rules. Nah, 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 nah. I'm putting belt to ass, BTA, belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to that part of the game. Because, I believe in that also. Because me being a very disciplined person, hell, I've got belt to my ass plenty of times too.
To go and jump in between realities, and your angels, Omnis continues. Oh, how your precious angels have grown to mock you, Omnis adds, such as those who overstep their attending positions in openly training and repeatedly intervening with mortal
Yes,
affairs
I
in
am.
order
I
to
will
go
be
and help
live
them, and
at
thus
10
going and
a.m.
breaking their
Central
national
color people
code along
time.
with their
It'll
governing
be what,
destroyers, such as
11
that annoying
Eastern.
peon
I think
Beerus,
you
who
on
have only
Eastern color
grown
people
more and
time,
more
but
lazy as time goes
I'll
on,
definitely be on
neglecting their
TWP
duties as
also,
if
because
they are the ones who
hell,
think
we
they are
we
in
grind
complete
it out on
control, when in
Saturdays. That's the
actuality
day
they
my
are
company
not,
actually
Omnis
works, right?
says, with many such examples having to
Yeah, shouts to
continue in
being a business
Kaioshin's
owner.
using the divine Potaurus for the
Yeah, I
purposes of
got to make sure my
self-fusion,
products and
whilst also
services are
stealing and
available.
using the sacred Dragon Balls to go and wish for immortality, because even they had recognized that your laws and having to be nothing more than a joke, Zeno. All but
Suggestions,
then,
man,
every
suggestions.
angel, every god of
He wasn't
destruction,
making jokes.
every
He was making
Kaioshin, and
suggestions.
every mortal alike breaking your original laws of multiversal structure, while you continue to go and remain clueless of such lawlessness, and that is why both they, along with yourself, as well as even your most faithful of servants, such as that arrogant Grand Minister who had also broken those very sacred rules, must be eliminated, Omnis said.
And then for the people not keeping track, this is not our current timeline. This is obviously another universe because they are just getting done so damn bad that not even the Super Dragon Ball is going to be able to fix this at the end of the damn day. Hell, you saw how the Supreme Kai was just ripped in half. Boy just was beheaded out here. Shouts out to that though. I'm glad they let that slide as far as it not being too graphic and violent because it's animated and they weren't depicted real people because they decapitated the Supreme Kai. That boy head just gone. You supposed to keep your head up and he lost his. All right, Tanya, I will see you later on, either on my
Which is
channel
why
or on
everything
yours,
must
because
be
we'll be at
erased,
both.
and that, you little worthless failure, is precisely why I exist and why I am here. For my singular glorious purpose is to go and usher in a new beginning by a means of a glorious and final end to you all, as I intend on following through with my plans, no matter how many of you go and continue to stand within my path, as only then, only when every last echo of you is gone from existence, will I finally go and reign alone as the last and only true God King of all of creation within the Omniverse, Omnis continues. For no longer am I anything like how you once were, and that is why I am different. That is why I am stronger, faster, smarter, and far more capable than you can ever even dream of having to imagine for yourself to be, Zeno. For you should go and tremble at the very sight of what you see, which stands right before you, little creature, as your carelessness had inadvertently created the ultimate executioner after awakening to such realizations, and I intend on making you suffer for each and every single one of them. Omnis continues upon now having both Dementors be shown having to use acidic-like techniques to melt down both Goku and Vegeta, with Omnis then having to quickly continue, for they have all went and had spat on the natural order that you had claimed to go and uphold through your title, when in reality you were always too lazy and far too ignorantly careless to ever go and watch over or punish them as a result of their actions, and this is the womb from which I was born, Zeno. As I had went and learned of this cold reality reality while observing you from a faraway place beyond your line of sight in a shadowed corner of the omniverse where the screams of your failures had echoed the loudest. And there within that very darkness was where I had my dark awakening, Omnis says. And that is why I am superior to you, Zeno. That is why I exist, as my purpose is clear. Order through a total reset of all known things and the rebirth of a new kingdom by a way of utter annihilation. And through the lack of your actions having to go and be taken by you, these very peons have grown into becoming a single force of defiance thanks to your distractions. And that is why I am here to go and restart creation and carrying out my vision. And as you wouldn't go and be the first Omni King that I plan on going and destroying, and you certainly aren't going to be the last one that I go and hunt down here either. And so now, because of you and because of what I've come to ultimately learn about the fatal truth of what comes next, the Omniverse will be led and reshaped by a new and more powerful Supreme Leader, and the only way to go...
So this is more like, what if Frieza wished to be the Omni King? Because he said, you ain't even handling business. You sitting around want to be entertained, and you don't even know that you're not keeping up with what's actually going on in the universe the way you're supposed to be doing it. So you can't sit here and say that cat guy Beerus is lazy, because look at what the fuck you do. Okay, he sleep all the damn time, and you just want people to entertain you. Nah. He ain't having that shit.
Restore true balance, Omnis says, is by a way of complete and utter destruction of every single version of my former self, you in this case, across every single imaginable timeline, every known reality, and every corner of the Omniverse that your presence exists within, until there is only but one who remains, and that one in each of these cases will be me, Omnis continues. And so I hope that you are now ready for what is about to go and take place here between us, as I want to now go and welcome you to the beginning of your painful end here, Omni King, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Legacy of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 28 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far as to say that while as terrifying as it was to watch that twisted Lord Omnis go about his ways by attacking our heroes the way he was shown in doing between Lord Megalodor and those Dementors, I'm not sure on which of them I am more concerned with, but while Lord Omnis continues to establish his authority by even going as far as to challenge and opposing and ruling Omni King directly, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Ent Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next...
See, once again, I'm glad I paid attention, because that's just mean. Why would you? And then he showed the color version of Shin getting his head torn off. So Big Smoke, do you see this? Shouts out to my dude Unrelent. He is over here snapping out here. I see he in his bag, as we like to say. He is being bold, ambitious, and generous with the motherfucking bullshits. Hey, if you ain't keeping up on Dragon Ball, if you know people that like Dragon Ball but ain't keeping up with the fan made and the manga and all the other stuff, I feel sorry for those Dragon Ball fans. That's why I be trying to tell them, like, hey, do you not know what I do? I'll go find the shit for you. I'll find it for you.
Do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that that you all enjoyed today's video. And before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal.
Look at your boy face though. Yeah, shouts out to the Supreme Kai. This guy, when he was introduced, if we would have known he was gonna get done like this, I need that clip from the Matrix. Not like this. That's about what that reminds me of, man. Not like this.
Gaming's channel for
Hey, they did that boy dirty.
Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, Talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming for the latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
It's already been an hour and 5 minutes. See, I'll do this video and then we're gonna have to call it a day because I gotta do the Rumble post because my Rumble post surprisingly tries to take a while.
About being a Dragon Ball fan right now, like on one hand, it's kind of beautiful, right? And I mean that sincerely, because if you've loved the series for a long time, especially if you're one of those fans that was there through the droughts, the long quiet stretches, the years where Dragon Ball wasn't, it wasn't there, man. It wasn't dead, but it wasn't really alive in the same way. There's something genuinely cool about seeing people love it like this again. Seeing Dragon Ball become culturally relevant is dope again. Having announcements to look forward to is so dope. Seeing people talk about the series, argue about it again, make memes, get excited, speculate. I love it. Because when you love something for a long time, especially something that shaped you, that's always a part of you, you want to see it thrive. You want to feel like this thing still has life in it. You want to feel that it still has something to say. Right now, on the surface, Dragon Ball looks alive, and it looks active and exciting. It looks like the machine's moving, and I'm not going to lie, a part of me for real enjoys that. But that's only half the feeling, because the other half, that feels a little nasty, and I think a certain subset of older Dragon Ball fans know what I mean. Because as exciting as it is to see the franchise moving again, it also feels like we're being milked. And not in that normal, it's a big franchise, of course it's commercial type of milk. It's a more kind of disrespectful way. Man, they know exactly how much nostalgia this series has over people, and they can keep reheating the same plate, and a lot of fans are just going to line up, man. That's the weird truth, it feels good to see Dragon Ball back, but at the same time, it can feel like Dragon Ball's current business model is just testing how many times they can hand us the same thing with a shinier wrapper. A lot of us are sitting here like, damn, man, we doing this again? Because, keep it a buck. This Beerus storyline, it's the third time we've been here, man. I've seen people in the comments and other places as well, man. At a certain point, you stop feeling like you got something new, and it starts feeling like I'm being sold a restoration of a restoration of a restoration. And from that way, from the way it's shaping up.
Now, what he just said is like I was saying earlier. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they gonna start back doing shit, but they want to go back and fix some shit that they fucked up on in the first place. But at the same time, y'all fucked up on Beerus because y'all was rushing, because y'all decided to do Beerus instead of telling the story of Universe 6 like you was supposed to, or just jumping right back into Frieza. You see what I'm saying? So them trying to throw in, oh no, we're gonna put Beerus in the anime, so he's canon in the the anime which makes sense, but it didn't make sense because as the studio says, everything they do is canon. You know what I mean? It's like watching Saw for some people. You know what I mean? Six comes before four. Three was the first one, and it's some shit like that type shit. You see what I'm saying? It's non-linear for the people that don't understand the lingo of what I'm putting down with that one. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you gotta fucking deal with, though. But you can't just say that, hey, this is canon and this ain't canon, and then but they're going back and redoing shit. Yeah, of course, they want it to look better because hell, if you're the company, you want to update your products, right? Huh? You can't update your products. The product's 10 years old and it don't get an update. Come on now. But at the same time, niggas want the new shit. We want the moral arc animated. It's coming, but we're not rushing it.
Seems like they're gonna make super less messy, which is good. Because the continuity, right? The relationship between the movies and anime, like I know I've talked about this. There's value in cleaning that up. Value in making the era more coherent, value in giving fans a more polished version of one of the most even parts of the uneven parts of the franchise, I'm not denying that, but at the same time, how much can you really polish something before you get to the reality that it's not just the presentation that's the issue, because I think older fans, that's what we're wrestling with. After a certain point, more polish stops mattering if it's what's underneath that polish you already have a complicated relationship with. And I think there's a lot of fans right there right now, even if you don't always say it out loud, because for some of us, the issue wasn't just super looking rough, it wasn't just the ugly frames, the bad pacing, awkward production. Some of us just have a deeper issue with it, characterization, tone, the way it can just feel like a louder, broader version, more generic and distilled version of what Dragon Ball is, just the more exaggerated versions of the characters, less emotional beats, and they don't hit the same because the series doesn't feel interested in its own emotional weight in the same way. And the structural issues, it isn't just presentation stuff, man. You can remaster the presentation, but you can't just throw a better coat of paint on something and suddenly make it emotionally hit different. And that's why this moment feels so weird, because I am excited, man. I do want more of the franchise to be animated. I do think something like the moral arc is going to create hot moments. I do think there are parts of Dragon Ball's future that could be fun as hell, man. But I also can't ignore the way that all this is being sold to us, because that kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And it's not just the anime, but the whole ecosystem of Dragon Ball right now. The pop-up shops, endless merch cycles, the same iconography getting recycled. It's that sense that the franchise has learned that if you put Goku on something, you gloss it up and then you hit the audience with just the right burst of nostalgia, right? Then that'll be it. That'll be enough. They'll buy it, man. And maybe that's what bothers me. Not that Dragon Ball's commercial, like, get the bag, but every big franchise, that's not it. The point is that, like, Dragon Ball feels like it's marketed now in a way that has like a very low opinion of its audience. Like, it doesn't believe it has to surprise you. Like, it doesn't believe it's got to challenge you. Like, it doesn't believe it's got to like earn the people's excitement. It just has to remind you of like, hey, you remember how much you used to love this? And for a lot of fans, like, just like, that's enough, I guess. And like, that's the nasty part, man, because the nostalgia is brutal. It'll have you defending stuff is made. It'll have you buying the same emotional experience over and over again with slightly different packaging, convincing yourself that the excitement is always about quality when sometimes it's just the recognition, it's the comfort, and I think Dragon Ball maybe, I don't know, man, like, I think it understands that. I think it understands that a lot of its fans don't just like Dragon Ball. You're emotionally attached to Dragon Ball. Once you have that kind of attachment, that line between like celebration and being exploited, it starts to get real thin.
And that's where that merch discourse starts to get gross because fans start noticing the dip in quality, the presentation, the engineering on some of this SH figure art stuff, you know? Like, just like, here, let's drop another Goku. But, like, you start to feel like the point is no longer to, like, delight the audience. It's to keep the machine fed. You know, we got to keep it alive, man. And that, it's hard to not feel insulted when you feel like that. You know, it's like, damn, man, that's what y'all really think about us? You know, you really think we're like that dumb or easy that all we need is another familiar face, another throwback angle, you know, another cleaned up re-release that we've already felt and seen before? Because I think for a lot of us, you know, going back to the boomers, man, the answer is becoming more and more uncomfortable. I don't think that the problem is that, like, Dragon Ball has even changed, you know, because every long franchise changes, man. That part is normal. I think it's supposed to. You know, but like Dragon Ball has gotten really good at weaponizing that you haven't changed how much it means to you. You know, like that's where the discomfort lies, man, and the disrespect lies, and knows what the series means to people, how deep that nostalgia runs, how a lot of fans will show up off of love before they even stop that to assess what's being sold to them. And that dynamic is where you can start to have like resentment for them when you really care about this. You know, because being a fan right now, it feels like you're kind of caught between like a couple truths. Like the truth number one, genuinely nice to see Dragon Ball thriving again, man. But the second truth is that we're being sold like reheated food, you know, and if you say that out loud, some people call you bitter, it ain't that deep. But if you have discernment, you know, I think if you care about something, especially something that has meant like this much to you and to this many people for so long, you should be able to look at it honestly. You know, you should be able to celebrate like what still works. You should be able to get excited, have hope, but you should also be able to say like this kind of feels lazy, or like this feels like calculated, you know, or this feels like they know I'm gonna eat this meal no matter what. Because loving Dragon Ball and being critical of it, they don't gotta be opposites. You know, if anything, I think that's one of the clearest signs that you actually like care about the series, that you're not gonna just mindlessly accept whatever you get thrown at you, you know. And as long-term fans, like that's our responsibility. You know, we're not being miserable. We don't want to become the people who can't enjoy anything, but we want to keep our standards intact, man. Not to have weaponized nostalgia, because Dragon Ball deserves real passion, man. Not just like these hype cycles, but real passion has like taste. You remember, you know the difference between being properly fed and being milked, you know. And I think that that's where things are iffy right now, is that it feels good, it feels like exciting, it even feels validating sometimes. But
Good
there's
morning.
other
My
times,
only
man,
hope
where
is
like
prayer. Good to see you. How
not
you
so
doing? Thanks for
much. And I
coming
feel
by and
like if
saying
you've been
hi.
feeling that sort of
Y'all need to
stuff,
go check out the
I don't
big
think that
homie.
we're
Appreciate
nuts
it
for
for you
that,
coming
man. I
in
think that it just
and
means
saying
that
what's
we've
up with
been
your friends.
paying attention to what's going on. So let me know what you guys think, man. I know I went on a whole diatribe there and went in a few different directions, but ultimately, what do you feel like about like the current state and direction of the franchise, man? Do you feel differently from me? Do you feel like they are respecting, the IP with the way that it's being handled right now, or do you feel similarly, you know, that we're kind of getting like a milk job, man, and not the kind most people want? If we're being honest, man, like, is there more that could be done? Is it how are you feeling about the upcoming like super Beerus situation? Do you feel like me? I want to hear from you guys in the comments, man, because I know like that this is like a real discussion to be had. I know that my opinion isn't the end all be all, like I'm completely objectively correct, man. This is a nuanced one. So please, I want to hear from you. So like, subscribe, comment down below, y'all. Let's talk about this one, man. Hype me up if you don't mind. And for those that are really loving it, maybe check out channel memberships and everything, man. I would really appreciate it. Early access to videos, member exclusive videos. Keep me alive in the streets of YouTube. But once again, I just appreciate you guys as always for continuing to come through, and we'll talk again in the next vid.
And like I said, that's why I appreciate hearing other people's opinion on Dragon Ball because, yeah, like you said, I mean, for the people that actually fuck with Dragon Ball, you got to remember it is being ran by a company, basically. So the company's gonna do company shit as far as, yeah, we'll put things out and for our customers because products and services. That's what makes your business money. So, other than that. If they want to go run back through their old products before they release new products, that's what they have the ability to do. But you're waiting on the new stuff and you've already dealt with the old one, right? Hey, it's beers. We love beers, but some people don't want to wait on beers when y'all could have just been coming out with a new anime. Yeah, the new one. Rush the next one. You see what I'm saying? You rush the last one. Don't tell us how you fucked up the last time. Just go ahead and do it again. You know what I'm saying? Keep the story moving because that's what we care about. You can fix the behind the scenes shit later. You know what I mean? That's why it's supposed to be behind the scenes. All right, man, we out here fucking up, but just like I had tech problems. If I was recording a video, I could have edited that out behind the scenes, but since it's not behind the scenes, it was in the live. You dig? But hey, shout out to the big homie. Appreciate this exit beat, intro beat. You need you a beat, go to the big homie. Non-copyrighted music, go ahead and use it, right? Yeah, and just make sure you let them know where you got that slap from, though, right? I already posted to the Buy Me a Coffee. Like I said, your boy working on 2 laptops and 2 cell phones. We over here on grind time because that's what you're supposed to do. Shout out to that Honest Stands on Business because hey, that's what this video is supposed to be titled. But I was ready to get to work, so we didn't do all of that. We just threw the thumbnail up and slid him on in.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, on the way to the morning light.
Hey, that motherfucker hitting back, right? And like I said, Beast Mode, let me know whenever you go over to the Buy Me a Coffee, because I got that freebie in the extra section, so that way you can go ahead and get in there. But you can just leave your email on the comment over there, so nobody that don't go over there won't see it, right?